This is a very quick demo on how you can use HTS Hero to classify anything in minutes without cutting corners, whether you are an independent broker or a large brokerage or really anything in between. We'll just go over all of the features here and zip through a lot of it just to make sure it's worth your time. And so any classification starts with a good description of what it is you're trying to classify. In this case, we'll keep it simple and just do something like frozen salmon. This could be anything. It could be pharmaceuticals, manufacturing materials. In this case, we're doing salmon as an example. Once you click go, the system will go and try to find candidates based on that description that might make sense. This is at the HS heading level, so just 4 digits. And once we get these options, these suggestions, we're free to choose from either one of them to then progress to the next level. Or if we don't like any of these options, we can go and find our own. Let's just say we go here, and let's just go to the fish chapter. Here you can just explore the entire HTS, and you can add options into this if you want. Here we can add a couple. And if we jump back to our classification, we can see the options that have been added here. We'll just remove those, but just to show you, you can obviously add your own headings if none of the ones that are suggested make sense. You can also search cross based on the description that was provided and add any notes. So maybe you have something you want to say about the decision at this level. You can do that here as well. We'll just click this first option, which is frozen fish, just for example's sake. What we get then is all the options that sit beneath that option we selected inside of the HTS, and we can select between those options at this level. We'll click on this first one, which is salmon. Here's the options beneath that salmon selection. It's asking which kind of salmon are you talking about? Trout, Atlantic salmon, other Pacific salmon. Let's just say it was Atlantic salmon. Also, we'll highlight, we always give you an analysis for each level. So it'll look at the options and say, based on the options provided, it sounds like this one's reasonable. Again, classifier's choice. Let's do Atlantic salmon. And there we go. We've got our 10-digit code. And at this point, we can select who the classifier was, who the importer was, and add any final notes that we might want to here. This could be anything you want, decisions or anything, or random gibberish like I've added in. Importantly, right beneath that is all the details for the HTS 10-digit code that you found. You can see the tariff rate for any single country of origin. So if you were importing these salmon, here's what the rate would be from all of these different countries. If we select any given country, we can do the drop down and we can see all of the tariff details. We can see if there's special trade programs that might be available that the importer could maybe qualify for, get them some savings. You can also explore exemptions that exist from all the Chapter 99s. Let's say if this was a donation, we can click that and we see the tariff rate jumps down to 0. Finally, we can see the report for this classification. So based on all of the actions we've just taken, the classifier, the importer, the notes, and all the selections on the left, we can download a report that includes all of that information. This is our advisory. Inside of this advisory, based on the details in your profile, you can add your logo, you can add a disclaimer, all sorts of things that will make this PDF a little bit more professional and just ready for clients to view. So here we've selected Justin's Auto Parts for some reason as who we're providing this advisory to, saying that we were the advisor ourselves. And we also have the item description for what we classified, the actual code we found, and then our basis for classification, which is just those notes that we saw on the last screen. We also get a breakdown of the classification here, which is just all the selections we made along the way. And at the bottom, if we decided to include one, we can have our disclaimer. Finally, once we think this classification is done and polished and ready, we can click Set as Final. And if we go back to our list of all of our classifications we have ever done, we will see that pop up here. And if we go to Finalized, it will just filter to the classifications that are final. We can also filter to the draft classifications. So if we want to go back to one that we've done and edit it or change it or make selection updates, we can do that here. And if we just remove those filters, it will show you how we can quickly also search by code if we want to. We can also search by the name of whatever it was we wanted to classify. And so that's a very, very, very high level overview. You can go from item description to 10-digit code very, very quickly. You get the analysis benefits. You can kind of jumpstart your classifications by finding those headings that make the most sense. The classifier is always in control. They make the decisions. But we say you don't cut corners because you can add your nodes and you're always thinking through and making those selections rather than fully automating it and sort of losing that level of detail. So this is a very quick demo. Any questions, let me know. Take care.